Welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to share with you 10 ways to overcome artist block. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you just can't create? As though all the inspiration you might have felt before suddenly vanished? Artist block is a very real phenomenon that can affect anyone, whether you're a novice to the arts or a seasoned professional. Artist block, however, is definitely curable with some effort, openness, and dedication. If you're an artist, chances are you've experienced artist block at one point in your life. It can really be frustrating and demotivating at times, but I've come up with a few tips to help you overcome artist block and get you back to your best creative self. But first, let's talk about what artist block is. What is artist block? Artist block is when you feel like you can't create anything. You feel uninspired or stuck in the creative process. It can be due to a variety of reasons: lack of time, lack of motivation and inspiration, overworking, or pressure. Artist block can be brought on by stress and anxiety too. It can leave you feeling like your brain is in a fog, trying your best but coming up with nothing, thinking that whatever you put out there will probably suck anyway, so why bother starting at all? You don't want to do things that usually get you excited because they seem boring and uninspiring. It can also lead to not creating pretty much anything for weeks, months, or years at a time, not following through with projects, avoiding other artists even though they usually give you inspiration and motivation. It can leave you feeling like you're not achieving anything or that your work isn't getting noticed. You may experience envy of other people for their success, but feel totally unmotivated to do anything about it because all you want to do is maybe sleep, watch TV, or simply withdraw. You may feel down on yourself and think that nothing will ever go right in your life again. Constantly comparing yourself to others or feeling jealous of other people can also lead to creative blocks where you're not wanting to create at all, being overcritical of everything you do, or taking longer breaks between projects, or worse, never starting any projects at all because artist block has taken over way too much. But comparison is a thief of joy. No matter where you are on your artistic journey, know that you're not alone in feeling like this. So now that we know what artist block is, and what it feels like and what it looks like, how do we overcome it? Before we move into the 10 methods, remind yourself to simply not wait around for the inspiration to arrive in a magical way. It will never come by itself without you doing something, ever. Artist block can emanate from a variety of reasons like stress, trauma, lack of time, or lack of motivation, and many other possibilities. But those feelings can be overcome with action. Essentially, what you do acts as a catalyst to change the status quo. And the following 10 ways to overcome artist block all have to do with proactively breaking the fog of the block itself. 10 ways to overcome artist block. While I will primarily be focusing on this from a visual arts perspective, you can use many of these techniques in a variety of other mediums, from creative writing to musical composition. What I want to share with you are ways to help you move forward along your artistic path. So let's start with number 1, get outside. Nature has a remarkable way of helping you reset. Spend some time in nature and let her work her magic. Whether you go for a walk in the park, sit by the ocean, or go for a hike in the mountains, getting outside and surrounded by natural elements can help you clear your head and open up new possibilities. You can also take this time to sit outside with a coffee at a cafe, for example, and people watch. It might even help to bring a journal or sketchbook to document observations, sudden inspiration, or even write how you're feeling regarding any creative rut you might be experiencing. Getting outside and away from your workload can help you gain a fresh new perspective. It might even be the thing that breaks you out of your rut. 2, talk to other artists. Creativity is often sparked through discussion and collaboration with others. Talking to other artists can give you new perspectives, ideas, and motivation. You never know where the next great idea will come from, and sometimes just talking it out with a fellow creative helps with meaningful creative breakthroughs. Artist communities or forums are a great way to meet other artists as well as learn new things and get feedback. You can also attend workshops, lectures, or art classes to get inspired by others and see how they tackle their creative endeavors. Collaborating with other artists is a great way to rejuvenate your creativity, get out of the creative rut, and work on something new. This also has the added benefit of helping you connect with other people in your community, which can really be rewarding both personally and professionally. Not only are there tons of awesome collaborations happening with art communities around the world, but working together when you collaborate helps both parties involved strengthen their skills by learning from each other. You might have to spend more time researching or asking around to find someone who's interested in doing the same type of work as you are, because not all artists will want to collaborate for various reasons. However, it can be well worth the effort if you find someone with who you mesh well and who will help push your boundaries. In any case, chatting with other creatives, even those who work in completely different mediums, can help recharge your motivation and help shake you out of a creative rut. 3. Try a new medium. When we get stuck in our routine, it's easy to fall into a rut creatively. Shake things up by trying something new, whether it's a medium you've never worked with before, or just a different style than what you're used to. If you're feeling uninspired, branch out and explore new styles, techniques, or subject matters. It's likely that something different will inspire you and help shake up your routine. For example, if you're into realism with pen and ink, you might want to try your hand at abstract art or do a rough field sketch of your local architecture. Challenging yourself with new ideas or problems can help you find new solutions and become more creative. When we're confronted with something that's difficult, our brain is stimulated and we're more likely to come up with new ideas and ways to tackle obstacles. If you're feeling stuck creatively, take on a new challenge, whether it's an art project, personal goal, or a professional endeavor. It doesn't have to be something huge. Even trying a new technique can present a challenge that can help jumpstart your creativity. 4. Surround yourself with inspiring art and music. Art inspires art. So pull out your favorite albums and go through your personal collection looking for artist books or works that inspire you to get those creative juices flowing. You could also visit a local gallery, a bookstore, or anywhere that creative works are on display or could be purchased. Seeing and experiencing other creative works is a wonderful motivator. And when I get into a bit of a creative funk, I love going out and seeing all the street art around London. Even if I've seen certain pieces before, creative neighborhoods always have something new happening, which helps me gain a bit of perspective on why I'm creating in the first place. If you're unable to spend time outdoors or in public settings, you can also check out concerts or classes online via YouTube or wherever you can watch or listen to them. You can also work on a Pinterest board, collecting mood boards for inspiration, or a collection that can help boost your current project. 5. Go back to the basics. While we may want to rush ahead and show off all of our new tricks and skills, sometimes going back to the basics can be an amazing new way to recharge and renew your love for art. Keep it simple by working with monochromatic colors, basic shapes, or drawing inspiration from abstract art like Mondrian, who is known as one of the founders of non-representational painting, or as I like to think about it, less is more. When we're feeling creatively drained, it can be a great idea to revisit the fundamentals of our art practice. Spend some time revisiting the basic techniques that you've learned when you first started out and see if you can find new ways to approach them or add your own personal touch. You might also want to try working in a different medium than what you're actually used to, or take on a smaller project that doesn't require as much planning or forethought. Sometimes the quickest way to jumpstart our creativity is by simplifying things and going back to the basics. 6. Doodle. Sometimes the quickest way to jumpstart your creativity is to simply start doodling. Draw a picture, write down a list of ideas, or just get those creative juices going. The more that you have your hand moving, the more ideas will come flooding in. Doodling is something that we did as kids naturally, but for some reason as adults we often stop ourselves from doodling because we think it's not productive. However, doodling is a great way to help us focus and can be really helpful when we're trying to come up with new ideas. The more we get our hands moving and our minds thinking creatively, the easier it will be for us to start producing creative works. So go ahead and start doodling anyway. You just might surprise yourself with what you come up with. 7. Get grounded. This one can be tough because it's often hard to justify taking a break when you feel like you have so much to do. But sometimes all you need is 5 to 10 minutes away from your artwork to clear your head and come back with fresh eyes. Sometimes the best way to overcome a hurdle is to take a break. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or burnt out, take some time for yourself. Relax, recharge, and come back with a new perspective. You may find that after some time away that you have some new ideas or solutions. It may seem counterproductive to take a break when you're having trouble creating anything original or just even functional. However, if your mind is getting clouded by negativity, then sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to step away from what you've been working on for too long and focus on something else until the clouds clear up, so to speak. You might be surprised at how much better you feel about what you were working on if only given time to come back fresh and recharged. In another video linked below, I have a specific meditation for creative block to help you get grounded. 8. Commission yourself. Act as though you've been working on a project for a client. What would you tell them if they asked for the inspiration behind this work? What are their needs and wants? If you had to pitch this project to a client, what would you say? Commissioning yourself and treating your personal project as a work order for someone else can help remind you that your creative needs are a priority as well, and the same respect that you give to a client is something that you deserve too. Sometimes it's hard to approach your own creative project with the same enthusiasm as you would for a piece for someone else. By commissioning yourself, you're putting yourself in the role of the client and removing the pressure of having to please only yourself. If you're someone who works well with structure, this may be a good method to see your work a bit more objectively and to allow motivation to flow through. 9. Get moving. This is similar advice to getting outside, but it can be helpful in different ways. Walking away from your piece allows you to step back and look at it with fresh eyes again. You'll often notice things were hard or tricky to see while you were concentrating on one thing, so get up every once in a while, stretch your legs, give your eyes some rest, and come back with a new perspective later and new motivation. Movement and exercise are great ways to de-stress, but can also help creative juices to flow again. If you feel like you're stuck on a piece or feeling like it's hard to overcome artist block, get out of the studio or your workspace and get moving. Working out has great mental benefits as well as physical, so try taking a break from your regular routine at least once or twice a week. Exercise is said to improve your mental health by reducing anxiety, depression, and other related symptoms by improving self-esteem and cognitive function, which can, in turn, help unblock artist block. Exercise has also been found to alleviate both physiological and psychological symptoms. Through movement and exercise, you can naturally boost endorphins. These neurotransmitters increase feelings of pleasure and well-being and also help reduce pain and discomfort. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, getting up and doing something different can help generate new thoughts that could be vital for completing projects. Keep moving forward, even if you're not thrilled about your work right now. You can always go back to it later on and improve something or rework a project. But only if you actually start creating rather than waiting around for inspiration. Because that never just happens on its own. So get started now. 10. The ECO technique. Finally, we have the ECO technique. E stands for emotion, C stands for color, and O stands for objects. Whether you're staring at a blank page or canvas or stuck on a current project, I find the ECO technique as a helpful tool in taking myself and any frustrating feelings out of the work to look at the macro, big picture of it all objectively. One of the best ways to get over artist block is to brainstorm, and this is what the ECO technique is all about. This can be done with others or alone, so get yourself a piece of paper and some pens, and let's break down an idea together. E. Start with the emotion you're feeling about this project. The way that it makes you feel can sometimes be an indication of where you are stuck or how to solve it. What are you trying to convey? C. Next, choose a color that best represents this particular piece. Is there one color that pops out more than any other? One color may make the whole project come together and give it more meaning than another. Maybe your artwork is missing something without it. Oh, finally pick out 3 objects of anything related to the piece at hand. These are just things that are related to the project or might spark new ideas or solutions for any roadblocks you've run into so far. You can do these things individually or in groups of 3. After completing the eco technique, it's important to let the ideas simmer for a while. Don't force anything or don't rush anything. Come back to it later with fresh eyes and see if it feels more doable or if there are aspects that you want to expand on. The eco technique is one of my favorite for brainstorming techniques because it doesn't require anything except for yourself and some paper or your computer or phone. It's versatile, can be done with others or alone, and helps break down an idea into manageable chunks that are easier to work with. I hope you'll find it as helpful as I have. Artist block is a very real phenomenon that can affect any creative person at any stage in their career. It can be caused by so many things like stress, lack of inspiration, or simply hitting the wall while working on a particular project. Whatever the cause may be, overcoming artist block is all about stepping back and reevaluating the situation so you can move forward with a better mindset. It takes hard work, time, and sometimes a little luck, but these methods have helped me overcome artist block in the past, and hopefully they can provide some needed assistance for you as well. Inspiration is all around. No matter where you are in your creative journey, know that you're not alone when feeling the dread of artist block. It comes to all of us at some point or another, even the most successful artists. Luckily, artist block is only temporary, so just remember that. Take a deep breath and remember that inspiration is all around. You just have to make time for it and be open to whenever inspiration strikes. Bonus pro tip: carry a notebook with you. You'll be surprised at how many other creatives get inspired at the most random or unexpected times, coming up with brilliant ideas and say to themselves, "I'm going to write this down later." Wrong. If you don't capture the whispers from the creative muse in real time, chances are that those ideas are poof, gone. So whether you're jotting down notes during your lunch break, doodling ideas in your car, or just journaling after a long day's work, capture those thoughts and inspirations as soon as they come to you. You'll thank yourself later. Even if you don't know what to do with said ideas or inspiration, you'll have at least a source for ideas when you're feeling stuck or uninspired. This way, you can be proactive about addressing artist block rather than being reactive whenever it happens. Conclusion. Artist block is a difficult thing that all artists experience at one point or another. Also, take time out to remember who you are as an artist, what inspired you in the first place, how far you've come, and everything art has done to enrich your life. These are just a few ways to help you get out of a creative rut and back to being inspired. If you're feeling frustrated, stuck, or unmotivated, try one of these techniques and see if it jumpstarts your creativity. What other methods do you use when you feel blocked? Share them in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by, and I wish you success and happy creating. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time here in the studio.